Well, hey, I've turned over a new leaf in life and I'm feeling great. Can you believe it? Hi. I actually kind of have turned over a new leaf, if you can believe it. Is it just me or am I turning over a new leaf like every 3 months in my life? What is with all these leaves? Anyway, hi. I wanted to talk today about this new leaf that I've turned over, okay? For those of you who don't know, I am in therapy. I must say this in like every other video, so if you didn't know that, then maybe you should be paying more attention. But anyway, I'm in therapy and I love therapy. I love my therapist. I love yapping and just being able to speak freely about what the hell is going on in my life, okay? And honestly, I think therapy could be pretty useful for just about anyone. Whether you're going through something difficult in your life or you are just looking for some type of, healing relationship, um, maybe you should give it a try. So, this new leaf that I've turned over, it has a lot to do with what's gone on the past 6 months in Asheville. So, for those of you who don't know, there was a category 4 or 5 hurricane that swept through the mountains here in Western North Carolina, Hurricane Helene. And this was I think it was at the end of September that it happened. So that is quite a few months ago by now. And, what that experience gave to me is um, the ability to navigate uncertainty with confidence and peace. And I didn't really realize this until just today that that's what Hurricane Helene was able to give me. And obviously, when I was living in the circumstances of Hurricane Helene, when I was living in a house without electricity and without water, when everything was closed, when none of the street lights were working, when there was no internet, all of this stuff, when I was actively in it, it was tumultuous to say the least. And it was hard. It was difficult. It was annoying. It was all these things. And I'm sure many of you who lived through Hurricane Helene have a similar experience with how it was to live in Asheville during the aftermath of this. Um, and, all things considered, my fiance and I were very fortunate to have our house where it is and to not have endured a ton of structural damage or anything like this to our house or to our property or belongings. But, you know, before Hurricane Helene, I had this kind of unwavering grasp, this unflinching grasp on control, on predictability, on choosing the things that I knew would produce a specific result. And it's okay to want to be in control of things. It's okay to want predictability in your life. But, Hurricane Helene showed me that life is so much more complex and nuanced and chaotic. And it's okay if I don't have control over what's going to happen or what is happening or what have you. And, now that Asheville is more or less back to a functioning capacity in most neighborhoods, in some neighborhoods, now that it's kind of back on its feet, I'm realizing that I am more comfortable in uncertain situations. I am more comfortable in chaos and in unpredictability. And this is such an interesting development in my life because not only am I more accepting of chaos and unpredictability and more accepting of uncertainty, but I'm also at peace with it, which is just a crazy thing. Like, I never thought that I would be uttering the words, I have peace in uncertain situations. Like, I literally thought predictability and control were required for me to experience inner peace. And it's just not the case, not in my life. So I've been learning that the outside world can change around me constantly, and it will. And that doesn't have to affect my ability to create and sustain peace in my life, right? And yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to say it. I was laid off at my job, and it's obviously not a great time to be laid off at your job. And it's not a good time to be looking for a job as a queer, non binary Latino. Okay? It's not a really good time to be doing that. Like, just objectively so, okay? Based on what's happening in the world, what's happening with our administration. Um, and so obviously, this is a very uncertain time for me. This is a very chaotic time. I'm like, what's coming next? Where am I going to end up? Who am I going to work for? You know, what is my purpose? What do I want to do? I have all these unanswered questions, right? And yet, I feel very at peace. And maybe you can like see it on my face or something. Maybe you can feel it radiating off of the freaking video screen, but it is so strange for me. Like, I'm not used to feeling like this. I feel completely at peace. I feel like there is only one way that my life could have gone from the moment that I was born up until right now. There's only one way that things could have gone, and it's the way that they have gone. And so this is just another part of my story, another part of my growth, another part of my journey, my evolution as a human. And I'm just at peace with it. Whatever comes next is going to be exactly what needed to come next. And we'll just see what happens. I am a very willing passenger of my life right now. Of course, I'm driving a little bit, I'm taking care of myself. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm cooking dinner and stuff and taking care of myself and applying to jobs and such. Um, but I'm also just like blissfully looking out the window of my life and loving what I have passed by so far. And I know I'm going to continue feeling that way as life unfolds in front of me. And so, yeah, I don't know. Why did I start recording this video? Just because I wanted to talk to you. That's why. I just wanted to talk to you. I love to yap. I love to speak. I love to talk about my life, and I love to talk about my inner thoughts. And I like to talk about my perception. So that's why you're here. And that's why I'm here. Oops! I just touched my microphone. I hope you didn't hear that. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying out this microphone thing because who knows? Maybe it's going to sound better. I hope it does. I hope it's even capturing any of this audio to begin with. So you know what? Actually, I'm just going to stop this video here. Let's keep talking in upcoming videos. So make sure to follow me on Instagram at real.stevie.tv, and you will be able to vote on my upcoming video topics, which you'll see here on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe down below by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the bell notifications so that you get notified when I post. And let's see where the hell I end up next.